been referring to and answering our questions? Is there anything on it?
That letterhead that says United States Senate. It's always up to the individual justice, but it always involves consultation with the colleague. In English. Okay, so in English, that means that I interpret the Constitution as a law, that I interpret its text as text, and I understand it to have the meaning that it had at the time people ratified it.
Okay.
So that meaning doesn't change over time, and it's not up to me to update it or infuse my own policy views into it. But I want to be careful to say that if I'm confirmed, you would not be getting Justice Scalia, you would be getting Justice Barrett.
And it's of great importance, I think.
Justice Ginsburg, with her characteristic pithiness, used this to describe how a nominee should comport herself at a hearing. No hints, no previews, no forecasts. That had been the practice of nominees before her, but everybody calls it the Ginsburg rule because she stated it so concisely, and it's been the practice of every nominee since.
Do you agree with them that IVF is tantamount to manslaughter?
Senator, the statement that I signed, as you said, simply said, I signed it on the way out of church. It was consistent with the views of my church, and it simply said, we support the right to life from conception to natural death. It took no position on IVF. So really the issue in the case is this doctrine of severability, and that's not something that I've ever talked about with respect to the Affordable Care Act. Honestly, I haven't written anything about severability that I know of at all. My children, to this point in their lives, have had the benefit of growing up in a cocoon where they have not yet experienced hatred or violence. Giving broader statements or making, broader diagnoses about the problem of racism is kind of beyond what I'm capable of doing as a judge. I have no agenda, and I do want to be clear that I have never discriminated on the basis of sexual preference and would not ever discriminate on the basis of sexual preference. Like racism, I think discrimination is abhorrent. On the questions of law, however, because I'm a sitting judge and because you can't answer questions without going through the judicial process, can't give answers to those very specific questions.
Given what President Trump said, given the rushed context of this confirmation, will you commit to recusing yourself from any case arising from a dispute in the presidential election results 3 weeks from now?
And I would consider it, I certainly hope that all members of the committee have more confidence in my integrity than to think that I would allow myself to be used as a pawn to decide this election for the American people. So that would be on the question of actual bias. And you asked about the appearance of bias.